Well, better late than never. Like I said, 10 after 9. We just did the show of the NFL picks. It just takes a little bit of time to get off one show to the next. I try. We do a little bit of talking afterwards, and I try to, we all try to chit chat after. But like I said, 10 after 9, we are not taking any time off, ladies and gentlemen. No time off. I know we're in the off season, but there's not, people think there's not a lot of Steelers stuff to talk about. That's okay. I will find Steelers stuff to talk about, and that's why you guys are here on the Black and Gold Dynasty Show. So stay tuned. Welcome, everybody, to a Wednesday edition of the Black and Gold Dynasty Show. I'm your host, Bad Bubba Brewer, a host of the Triple B Experience, the brand of podcasting that I do. And I totally appreciate you guys tuning in like always. Like I said before, we just got our NFL picks. I took the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers. Sorry, I am not taking the Ravens because I hate the Ravens. And that's just the way it is. So let me get to some Facebook, see if anybody's jumped on to chat about some Steeler talk as always. And if they're on, I will bring their comments to the podium here and let you know. So please hit like and subscribe. Use the YouTube comments, Facebook. This show will be on Spotify and all kind of audio listening. So the Steelers in the off season. It's they say there's not a lot of news, but hey, there is some kind of news. The Steelers quarterback Joey Porter Jr. was named to the Professional Football Writers of America rookie team. Hey, God bless Joey Porter. I think he had a great year this year. I think he was something that we needed in the secondary, but now we need a lot of help. We'll see if Patrick Peterson or Levi Wallace is going bye-bye. We will know because there's going to be people getting cut. And that's what I mean. Shane, thank you for tuning in. Benjamin, thank you for tuning in. So, well, let me see. Have a drink. I remember that. Yes, I do remember them. And T-shirts were very a hot commodity back in the late 90s. So, yeah. Thanks, Craig, for reminding me that. But yeah, I think Joey Porter, 32nd round pick, but to me, he was a first round pick because realistically, in that draft last year, 32nd pick would have been in the first round. So Broderick Jones did not get named to the Professional Football Writers of America all rookie team, which is surprising. I thought Broderick Jones, when he came in, I think the running game was a little bit more substantiated. They still need a lot of work, as we saw when we faced Buffalo. We didn't run the ball as much as we should have. And we're going to have to get some, we're going to have to work on some, who we are going to get in the draft. Benjamin says the Chiefs versus 49ers in the Super Bowl. Chris Anderson, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys jumping in from one show to the next. I appreciate that. This podcasting stuff is it's a little hairy scary. And like I said, I do every Wednesday. I mean, I try next week will be 9:00 on the dot because I won't be doing another show. So like I said, I have to exit out and then do whatever. I mean, as long as you just hit the notification, please hit like and subscribe, send it out to the masses because Chiefs win 42-38. Says Benjamin. I was supposed to, I was asked to do, now I was on a show yesterday. I was on a show on Beaver County's own. Ralph Williams had the end of Steelers. And I got on to talk about the Steelers a little bit. You can catch that on YouTube. But also, too, I wanted to give a shout out to Ralph because his new show is Wednesday night at 7:00 is this show. Pittsburgh Sports Talk, Ralph Williams and Smokin' Jim Frazier on blogtalkradio.com. You can call in, you can listen to the show. They're going to talk about Pittsburgh sports. You might see me on it, once in a while, do whatever, but I do know the guy who did the graphics. He does great work. So, also, in the third time in his career, Mr. TJ Watt has been selected as the award winner of the AFC Defensive Player of the Year. Not the Defensive Player of the Year, the NFL player yet. They have not announced that yet, and they will very soon. All right, Mr. Martello, thank you, sir, for coming on. Thank you for coming on with your comments. I appreciate it. Mr. Martello is, a Steeler fan, and much deserved. Yes. He also got the AFC Defensive Player of the Year, and he ranked the fourth time that he was winning the All NFL team. So we'll have to wait to see if he gets the NFL Defensive Player of the Game. I think he does. I think Myles Garrett and Michael Parsons did not do anything in the playoffs, but their stats were not as good as TJ's during the regular season, which that accounts for something in the regular season, ladies and gentlemen. And if I could vote, I would vote TJ Watt, but TJ Watt hopefully maybe would throw that all away for a playoff win. Maybe. It's going to be a while. Tomlin did say he's going to be coaching. He's going to be looking for an extension. I believe he will get that extension. I believe he will be around Pittsburgh for a long time. I hate to say it, guys, but it is what it is. I can't get broken up. I can't get is there any other fan in this town that matters? Oh, nope. You're a diehard, brother. So, but also too, Mr. Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette is expected Terrell Austin to return with a new contract in 2024. Because right now, the Steelers defensive coordinator, Terrell Austin, contract expired after the season. I personally do not want Terrell Austin back as a defensive coordinator. I believe they could find somebody. Now, look, I don't know who they're going to get, people. It's just me, and this is my podcast with my opinions, wanting to get people to be on the Steelers organization. I think the Steelers defense sometimes has delusions of grandeur, and they don't. Look, I know they had some injuries. I understand that. But also, too, they have, in the last 2 years, they have not been stifling on the run. Minka Fitzpatrick this year did not get any interceptions. No turnovers sent his way. I know he was injured, but still, look, his contract is very, very big. TJ Watts is very, very big. Cam Hayward this year in 2024 will be making $22 million, and he said he would like to be a Steeler for another year. Now, these guys are going to have to, Omar Khan is going to have to go into and calculate restructuring some contracts, because that is a lot of money that the Steelers have paid for this defense that Mr. Terrell Austin is in charge of. The defense is later of the pack. They're not in the top 10 that they used to be under Dick LeBeau, and during many years before that. The Steelers' defense was filled with tenacity. They do not have that, as it showed in Buffalo. Without TJ Watt, we are 1-11. So even with the players that we had on defense, it didn't amount to a whole lot. But it's aren't they interviewing some? They are, and I'm going to get to that, Mr. Martello. I have a whole list of OCs that you guys can comment on here very shortly. Alan, thanks for tuning in. Martello says, could you see Cam taking a pay cut? I actually do show him loyalty. $22 million, Mr. Martello. Will he give the Steelers the hometown bargain of, say, $4 million and take the $18 million to go sign some people? maybe some veteran middle linebackers, maybe a cornerback, maybe a vet cornerback. Now, Patrick Peterson, if they cut him, I believe that's $14 million. So if you take 14 and then you cut Mitch Trubisky at the 10, Omar is going to have to finagle these numbers to get us under the cap because I believe we are over right now. Bill, thanks for tuning in. I believe we are over the cap. And, I'm going to have to figure and calculate. I'm not going to be a guru with that. But, if Cam takes a restructured contract to stay as a Steeler, he's going to be 34 going on 35, I believe, to win a Super Bowl. I do it. Yeah, but first, Mr. Martello, the Pittsburgh Steelers has to win a playoff game. Look, the non-losing seasons are something that now everybody is accustomed to. I think a lot of people are okay with that. I am not one of them. I'm a diehard Steeler fan on a diehard Steeler podcast, and I understand. You're going to have to lose some to get higher in the draft. We are going to be drafting, like I said last week to this week. We are drafting number 20. We are going to have to look at some offense and defensive candidates in college, which I will have some help with that. I will have JT Toth of Draft 412 coming on the show to give the insides and out of the Steelers draft. He does this for a living. I do not know college players. That's not my expertise. I don't even know what I'm expert in, but I try. So I'm going to bring JT Toth on, and we are going to, maybe go by positions or whatever, and go from there. And he's going to be, a regular featured guest on this show when I can get him in because he does his own podcasting. He's a journalist. He writes his own columns, and he also is going down to Bradenton for the Pirates, and he watches a lot of films. So if you guys want to know about it, he does. You can subscribe to Draft 412. He also has a podcast, but he will be coming on because I need to know what the Steelers are looking at in the offseason. We need a lot of holes to fix, and this is going to be a couple. These shows are going to be, what if kind of shows. What if this? What if that? What if, some key veterans out in the NFL the Steelers are signing? Because it seems to me like everybody wants to play for Mike Tomlin. That's, Cam said that. TJ Watt has said that. But will TJ Watt say that when they don't get into a playoff to win? How much can he say that if it's always not going to happen? Mr. Martello, I am not accustomed to win. You're talking about the Steelers, but the Pirates, that is a different story. Yeah, I don't know much about the Pirates, sir. I support the Pirates, but I do not know. But let's see. Come on, Bubba, you're the expert of the F-bomb. Yeah. That's why my algorithms go down and up, down and up. That's what I try. So we also have to look at the offensive side of the ball. Do they sign Dante Johnson? These contracts, do they look at, franchising, Najee? I think we should keep Najee. I think he proven himself. I like Najee from tackle to tackle and, keep Jaylen Warren. I think that is a 1-2 punch combo that the Steelers need. And hopefully in the draft, hopefully they get a tackle or a center. Dan Moore goes to second string and no longer starting. Maybe they get that big, huge tackle out of Georgia to go on the other side. But, there's a lot of OCs, like everybody said. Now, the OCs that have been coming in that will look around. Wasn't the first bomb your finishing move? No, it was a keg tapper. My finishing move in professional wrestling was the keg tapper and the Hogan leg drop when I dressed up like the Bubster and I had long blonde hair and I was an overweight Hulk Hogan wannabe guy in the Independence. Yes, that was my finishers. And a sidewalk slam. Those are my finishing moves. Hey, yeah, he's a Steeler fan and F-bombs come with the territory. Oh, Mr. K, thanks for tuning in. So one of the OCs, I have a big long list here. One of the OCs that might come in for an interview is the Rams pass game coordinator. I didn't even know they had this as a position. The pass game coordinator, Zach Robinson, under McVay, under the coaching tree of McVay. We need to get an offensive coordinator that is outside the Steelers' realm, outside of Pittsburgh, not Alex Van Pelt or any type of ex-Pitt players that are coaches now that been in Pittsburgh. We do not need that. I do have Brian Leftwich on his. I don't want to see Brian Leftwich. I'm going to say that numerous times. I don't want to see it because Bruce Arians and Tom Brady did all that offense down there. I don't think Brian Leftwich. Now, if Brian Leftwich wanted to come as a Steeler as a quarterback coach, he can come. They could hire him as a quarterback coach because I believe any OC that the Pittsburgh Steelers get, I believe Mike Sullivan will be out of a job. Chris Ward, thanks for tuning into this show. I think Randy Feener, the running backs coach, will still have a job with the Steelers. I think Sean, the offensive line coach, will still have a part and as the Steelers. I believe that they need to sign, and I've been saying this the whole time, as crazy as it sounds, they need to sign Hines Ward, who's no longer coaching anything in the XFL or the Arena Bowl or whatever. Sign Hines Ward. That's the only guy that I think the Pittsburgh Steelers should get out. That was from inside the Steelers organization that had been a player or whatever. Now, if they get Leftwich as a quarterback coach, not an OC, but I will take Hines Ward as a receiver coach to instill, the ways on how to perform as a wide receiver to keep your head in the game, and then when the game's on the line, you have your mental discipline so you don't screw up or you don't throw a temper tantrum like Pickens does, or Dante can get more touchdowns. Yes, Chris Anderson says he would be a perfect wide receiver coach. I believe so. He had a chance a couple years ago, but Tomlin didn't. He was doing like an internship, and they didn't want him, and he went to the New York Jets. So I mean, I don't know. But the NFL insider, Peter King, told 93.7 The Fan, which I only listen to sometimes, former Arizona Cardinal head coach Cliff Cliffsburg will talk to the Steelers about the vacant OC position. I don't know. He has a big house in Arizona. I don't know if he's going to come to Pittsburgh. Cliffsburg. I don't know. We'll have to see. Because some coaches that were head coaches don't have it. Maybe they go back to being just a position coach or an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator. Maybe those positions were better for them. So, and we have another OC candidate here, Clint Kubiak. He is the 49ers offensive passing game coordinator. They got all these passing game coordinators. Now, the Steelers are not going to be able to talk to him because they are, going for the NFC Championship game. And if they win, they're not going to be able to talk to him until after the Super Bowl. If they're going to wait, they might wait till after the Super Bowl to get a couple of these guys interviewed due to the fact that they're still playing, with the teams. So, and his dad was an offensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. So also too, these offensive coordinators, it's like a tree here. Okay, now Roy says he talked to the other team too, and I can't remember the team. I think it was Chicago, maybe. I'm not sure. Chris Anderson said, I personally like to see Eric Bieniemy as our offensive coordinator. Now, Eric Bieniemy is on this list, Chris, but I call them the Redskins. The Commanders' offense was ranked in the mid-20s. Now, Sam Howell was half decent, but the offense of the Washington was nothing like the Kansas City offense that he did before. So I don't know. This is going to be a very, very tricky and hairy situation. Which person will be the offensive coordinator? Now, they have a Darnell Bevel, okay, the Dolphins quarterback coach, and also another pass game coordinator. They got so many different positions. It's unreal. I don't know if I'm going to like this one because I don't know. I just can't. Okay, so here's another one. Greg Olson, Seattle's quarterback coach. He got Geno Smith, worked with him last year. Did we bring a Seattle's quarterback coach in? I don't know because, Pete Carroll retired. Maybe they move up Olson into another position in the Seattle thing. So it's hard to see. Another name that was mentioned was Mike McCoy, Jaguars quarterback coach. Okay, this one here will still have to be in after the Super Bowl. Would be Anthony Lynn, 49ers assistant head coach and running back coach. And he, McCaffrey is his running back, and so he's doing pretty good on that. But to get an interview, we'll have to wait till the Super Bowl because the 49ers are not going to let any of their assistants go for interviews until after the Super Bowl. So we'll just have to wait and see. And like I said, Eric Bieniemy. Now this one here is, Kelly and Moore, Chargers OC. I don't know. This one here is he was a Titans offensive coordinator, Tim Kelly, when he had Ryan Tannehill looking so good, and that year they went to the playoffs. This year it wasn't very, very good, and I don't know if that would be. I don't think I would not take a Titans OC. I would not take Tim Kelly. And this name got brought up, and I don't see him coming back anytime soon, unless he leaves his UCLA head coaching position. And when he was in the NFL, he was just blowing up teams. He blew up the Eagles. Chip Kelly. I cannot see Chip Kelly coming to the Steelers. So I'm going to scratch that one. And he was never a coordinator in the pros, mind you. So I don't know why he's on this list. It's a list I got. It's not my own list. I use somebody else's. So sue me for copyright infringement. So now this one here is Joe Brady, the Bills' interim OC and quarterback coach. He's younger, but he's interim. Do they still keep him even though they lost the divisional round? Do they still keep him? Did they move him up, or does he go somewhere else? I don't know, because also he's only 34 years old, and he actually was in LSU and worked with Joe Burrows. So would he come to Pittsburgh and work with a guy named Kenny Pickett? And he's young. So I don't know. So Mike LaFleur, Rams OC. Joe Lombardi, Broncos offensive coordinator. I don't see it coming to Pittsburgh because the Denver Broncos were not that good. I don't see that happening. You got Brian Schottenheimer, Cowboys OC. Hey, Schottenheimer, you know what I mean? Marty Ball, I don't see it was Marty Ball in Dallas. Hey, Dallas had an offense all season long. I don't know if they retain him. Will the Steelers give him an interview? We'd have to see. And Jim Bob Cooter, Colts offensive offensive coordinator. No, I don't think that's going to be an option. Arthur Smith, the former Falcons head coach, I don't see him coming to Pittsburgh. I think that would be. I don't see that. I don't think Mike Tomlin will get anybody that was a head coach into that position. I think it's going to be a position based on another position and just moving up. I don't see an ex-head coach being our offensive coordinator. Luke Getsby, Bears OC. No, the Bears were not that good. Pete Carmichael, Saints OC. Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey is the ex-Bills who they fired in midseason. Could he come to Pittsburgh? And, they did a little bit. Last year, he was an offensive coordinator for Buffalo. They did very, very well. Josh Allen, had almost 50 touchdowns this year. Could he come to Pittsburgh and do an interview? Maybe. Josh McDaniel will not be an OC in Pittsburgh. That will never, ever happen. He will probably be looking at another OC. He might be the OC in New England. They already hired a coach. Maybe he'll go back. He's better as a offensive coordinator than he is a head coach. And Pep Hamilton, and Jay Gruden and Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell is older. He's in his late 60s. I don't know if he would fit with the Steelers at this time. And like I said, Leftwich, I don't think that'll be a good. So now, I mean, right now, that's a smorgasbord of OCs. I know me and Shane talked about it last week. He had a list. We will see who. I mean, like I said, Zach Robinson is getting interviewed, I think, sometime this week. And then Kingsbury, will come in. Maybe one of those two. I believe a younger, offensive minded, play calling coordinator would be something. They have to work. They're going to have to work with Kenny Pickett because I do not see Mason Rudolph being around. Kenny Pickett is your number one quarterback, and Kenny is going to have to prove to the masses that he can actually produce. Even though he was getting hurt, he got hurt in that Cardinals game. We didn't get a good key on Kenny without having Matt Canada around. We have to upgrade. We cannot get Dollar General coaches at Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin has to get people, he has to surround himself with capable coaches that are smart enough, that want to win, that know how to win, and let them coach and just let him, be the overseer because he's not going anywhere, people. And that's just how it is. So I know there's going to be a lot of free agency news. I'm sure that there's some they just hired a football analyst. The Steelers just hired a football analyst. I heard one point John Gruden being mentioned as a possible OC. I don't know about that, Chris. I don't know. He is, so a football analyst here. Let me get this comment. Steelers hire their second football analyst as of today. Hired a new member to their staff, according to the website. Donovan Moore Jr. is listed as the team's football analyst, joining Toshin Kazim as a second member. I don't even know what a football. Steelers have typically always had small analytics staff. I guess it's all about analytics. So Steelers acknowledge there will be changes to their staff. So far, long-term strength and conditioning coach Mercy Pasto has recently left the team. And quarterbacks coach, like I said, Mike Sullivan is not expected to return. So that is something that they did some hiring today. I did not know. And the Steelers named landing spot for a lockdown corner. We need another lockdown corner. That is correct. And I'm looking 5 cuts to make the Steelers salary cap. Excuse me. Allen Robinson. These are the 5 cuts that make sense. Allen Robinson, wide receiver. He's going to be 30 years old. He only had 280 yards, 0 touchdowns. Allen, thank you for your service. He's still under contract for 2024, but the Steelers would save $10 million. So if they part with 10-year vet, this is an offseason expandable. He's expandable. Wide receivers Dante Johnson, Pickens, and Calvin Austin is third, still on the roster. Excuse me. Chooks, the right tackle. Starting right tackle ever was benched in week 8 for acting out, never started again. He signed a 3-year, $29.2 million contract in 2022. That would be great. And he would save the Steelers $8.7 million against the cap if they trade him. But there aren't any teams interested. So if they cut him, like I said, they'll save $8.7 million. So that's a lot of money, riding to the bench. A lot of Mason Cole, the weak link of the offensive line of Pittsburgh, and I've said it so many times, he is ranked as the worst center by Pro Football Focus. I agree with Pro Football Focus. So he's going to be 28. He signed a 3-year deal, $15.7 million deal in 2022, but they can cut ties with him in the offseason. Moving on from Cole, would save the Steelers $4.7 million in cap space, but they don't have a replacement for Cole. So free agency or the draft. I think the draft is somewhere where we get a center. And here, Patrick Peterson. Good old Patrick Peterson. He's going to do podcasting, and that's great. He signed a 2-year, $14 million contract last offseason. He's 33 years old. It caught up to him. Okay, he's been picked on all season long. I know he's an 8-time Pro Bowler, switched, safety, and believes could extend his career. Whether it's in Pittsburgh remains to be seen. But however, if the team cuts him, they would save $6.8 million if they cut him. Now, last but not least, well, let's just say if the Steelers do not opt to keep Peterson, they play him at safety. They may decide to cut safety DeMonte Casey or Keanu Neal instead. I would say keep safety Kazee and Neal. Keep those two and save some money on Patrick Peterson. I think he was getting, I just think you just stay with that. Last but not least, Trubisky. He signed a 2-year deal, $11.25 million contract extension. He threw for 602 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in 5 games. Yeah. He was demoted to the third quarterback. Now, if Trubisky, Pittsburgh would save $2.9 million by cutting him. Steelers have several important decisions to make this offseason as they hope to still be playing this year. But making those 5 saves, cut saves, would save the Steelers $33 million and give them some breathing room ahead of free agency in March. So do you see those cuts being made? I think those cuts would be made. That would be awesome. And go from there. Because if you could save $33 million in the off season, that will be something huge. You look maybe to sign some secondary help. You look to sign Mitch is awful. That is correct. Correctamundo. So, yeah, I would just say those 5 cuts right now. Like I said, I will be looking up for Steeler news. There's a lot of big news. If it was like last year, free agency was very, very huge in the offseason. It made podcasting newsworthy for me. So this week we did some OCs. We still don't have one yet. We're going to be on the OC alert. If I know, you will know either by my Facebook or next time I'm on this show on Wednesday nights. You'll know. But I don't think they're going to do anything until after the Super Bowl so they can interview a couple of these people, especially from the 49ers. So we shall see, and we'll go from there. And, salary cap cuts. Once free agency hits, who do we sign? Who do we get? Who do we keep? This is going to be the mystery questions of 2024. But I will give you guys all the information I possibly can on the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. But before I get out of here, I want to give some shout outs to a lot of stuff here. I want to give some shout outs to Shane Stodmiller's show, Big 12 show, tomorrow night on YouTube at 8 p.m. Tune in. It's college football. Shane will actually appreciate the support. I believe he's going to be doing it by himself tomorrow, and being it by himself is very, very hard, as I know. And, hats off to Shane tomorrow. If you could pop in, give him some support, that'd be much appreciated. And then tomorrow, this contest, if you're in Punxsutawney, if you could vote for Carlisle's cousin for the Miss Groundhog. That hey, I'm just trying to, put it out there. And also, Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. The boys will be on February 2nd with a live interview show. All 3 of them in-house. It would be very, very exciting. And also Kal-El. Kal-El's the cousin of Cecilia. And Buckle to Buckle with Kal-El. He's 13 or 12 years old. He talks WWE. He's going to be coming on Friday. He's a big Buffalo Bills fan. He knows his football too. He just tries to be entertaining. So if you haven't subscribed to his show, please do. He's a good kid, even though he's a Buffalo Bills fan, but it is what it is. And also, if you guys haven't subscribed to my buddies, Mark's Steelers Nation Australia, Mark has Steelers stuff every day. He's pro Steelers. He's been on a show numerous times. Like to get him back on when we can throughout the season because he's a big Steeler fan like I am, and he's down under. So if you haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel, please do. And also tomorrow night, Freight Train and the Smartest Man in Philadelphia, Rich Smoke, 8 p.m. with their show, The NFL Banner. They talk football. They'll get into the nuts and bolts of these championship games tomorrow. We just did the show where we do it for fun and jokey kind of jokes, and they get a little serious. So that's 8 p.m. on YouTube, on social media, on Facebook. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And also for the proud sponsors of the Triple B Experience, Watkins Boxing, Indiana's county zone. Go get in shape and hit the bags. See Brandon Watkins, and also Bob's Pizza. Got my Bob's Pizza shirt on right now. It's a pizza, 5 slices of pepperoni and a Wapaho and a root beer under $13. You cannot beat it anywhere. And also another proud supporter of the Triple B experience is also these people.
There's a new cat in town. Formerly known as Clymer Beverage, the newly remodeled Alley Cat Beverage is located in the heart of Clymer. Still carrying all of your traditional beverages, Alley Cat Beverage also offers all of the newest flavors, brands, and novelties, including slushies and popsicles. From the gridiron to the back porch swing, Alley Cat has your favorite beverage in stock and ready for any occasion. Stop in and see the new cat in town. Back the alley where all the cool cats go.
Alley Cat.
There we go. Alley Cat Beverage in Clymer, Pennsylvania. Proud sponsor of the Triple B Experience and the Black and Gold Dynasty show. And also a proud sponsor of the epic event was my wedding to my lovely wife, Tammy. So they sponsored all the refreshments. Go out, and if you're in the area, please go out. Tell Diesel and Booterball I said hello. So, yes. And we also, I got my buddy, Club Sandwich, Todd DeFazio. Big guys, bigger sandwiches. Every Thursday night, they have a place where they do grab a sandwich and they critique it. I'm going to try to get them up in Indiana. Please hit like and subscribe to my buddy Todd. He does great stuff in Pittsburgh. And also my one-on-one interview 2024, as I promote, like I always do. The first interview of the year was already done last week. My special guest, talent relations and podcaster host of All Things Honor, which is a Ring of Honor wrestling show, Kimmy Sokol. She goes to conventions, and it was a great interview, and I support her. And if I see stuff where she's going, I'll put it on my social media. So also, one more time, this show here is Ralph Williams Sports Talk, Wednesday nights at 7. So I'm telling you guys, I try to advertise and try to promote everybody I can. I totally appreciate it. Please hit like and subscribe. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I do appreciate it. I'll be back on Friday at 8 o'clock for a Mania Megacast Royal Rumble pick with the panel. We'll be talking with Chris Coleman, the imagined heavyweight champion. I can't wait. We're going to celebrate on the podcast because Chris is a singles champion. He richly deserves it, and I'm glad he won, and we'll talk about it Friday night as we all give him our cheers. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you next week. If you're Steeler fans, if you're a fan of the Triple B Experience stuff, we will see you Friday. I got a lot of interviews coming. I also got this one interview with the brothers that do a lot of podcasting right here, the D'Angelo brothers. We're going to get them in. So please, everybody, thank you. Have a great night. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel or on Spotify, please do. Help me out. Please hit like and subscribe. Watch for the notifications when I go live. I appreciate all you guys. I'm just trying to be a podcaster in a podcasting world. Hey, I'm your host, Bad Bubba Brewer of the Triple B Experience. Everybody have a great night, and I will see you guys next week with more Steeler news. Go Steelers. There's no off season in Pittsburgh here, people. Peace out, people.